Well, I guess my prediction was wrong, and coronavirus didn't run away when I told it I was pregnant, and that coronavirus was the father. That's right. Me and Corona had coitus.
You slept with coronavirus?
Greg, coitus.
You can't just cure a disease by threatening it with your fertile boy womb.
It worked when I got rid of malaria. How was I supposed to know coronavirus was ready to be a daddy?
Well, this virus isn't going anywhere. I'm going to come by your place and shake your hand. You promised me if I forfeited my wages to you, you'd shake my hand. Now shake my hand. Shake it.
You know we can't shake hands. Look, how about you just come over, you stand on the lawn, I'll be at the door, we'll be 6 feet apart, it'll be fine. Oh no! The virus went through a growth spurt and now 6 feet is too short and now it wants to play in the NBA, which it insists comes back.
Fine. How about we sit in our cars parked on opposite ends of the city and talk to each other through walkie-talkies? Oh no! The coronavirus transmits through words that rhyme. It's already taken down Dr. Seuss. Wow, the virus is really on the way.
I think the safest thing for us to do right now is to just keep our relationship going through memes. You like memes? Oh no! It travels through SpongeBob memes!
Oh no, those are the best memes!
Oh no!
Oh no! My phone captured our oh no's, and now it's my default notification sound.
Oh no! Was that you or the phone?
The phone, but it applies. You can get it just by thinking of someone who has it.
Oh no! It doesn't just live on surfaces for 72 hours anymore. It lives on surfaces for the life of the virus plus 70 years. It's copyrighted.
That's going to be great for the grandkids.
Oh no!
Oh no, an update. If you cough 3 times in front of a mirror, your lights turn off, and when they turn back on, you have a piece of mail in your hand, and it's your results, and you have it.
Oh no! It turns out you can't always get what you want, but you can get coronavirus. Oh no! That's enough. I'm done with this. I'm tired of living in fear. I want to open my mail. I want to get annoyed with people in a movie theater again. I want to scratch the bottom of my foot through my sock and then rummage around through the bread basket at a buffet. I want to go back to work. I left a banana on my desk 3 months ago and I want it back. I'm tired of not being gross.
But Daniel, you're saving lives by staying home and following through with your shower schedule.
I don't care about saving lives anymore or showering. I'm going to be just fine. Who needs old people anyway? This country was built by young hot dudes like the Pilgrims and Woodrow Wilson and Henry Kissinger. Hubba hubba. Sure, this disease is also affecting young people, but I ignore that data. We're not a country of cowards. We persevere, we fight through, and we defend our rights. 1 XXL grilled stuffed burrito, please. That's stuffed, S-T-U-F-T. And leave the gloves at home, Sonny. I want to taste your palms.
That'll be $6.99. Oh no.
He's a Yankee Doodle Dandy, a Yankee Doodle Doer.
Wait, a car drove by. Hang on. Let's start it over.
No, the car's part of the song. I timed that.
It's the famous drum solo from Astrid Gilberto, or whatever the person who did that song.
You got it. Oh, wow, you're like a music historian, huh? Did you take Glenn Garrett's class?
I got a PhD in music history in the past month because apparently I have so much free time. I don't know where everyone has free time. I'm busy, but I have free time apparently.
I signed up for all these classes I refuse to take normally.
I signed up for all these classes that the dean said I never finished. Now I'm finally getting my elementary GED.
He's driving around with my diploma in his glove. It's the only one in his glove box. If you don't finish these classes, I'm going to have to throw this away.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello there. Oh, I can't hear you from that far away.
From a minimum of 2 parking spots away.
Yeah, we're two parking spots. Where's one big parking spot in between us, as there always is.
There's one big parking spot in my heart for you. Now that I have this GED, I can finally fill that spot.
With music!
With music history! I'm Daniel Zaffron.
I'm Greg Gonzalez.
I forgot.
Yikes.
I've forgotten.
Whoa, right into the microphone. You know that's how it travels, right?
Those microphones are in a mask. I'm forgetting my own name. No one asks me my name anymore, except when I'm filling out shipping orders. The computers don't care.
They will one day when Bill Gates is using it to figure out what Trader Joe's you like to shop at. I'm Greg Gonzalez.
And this is my conspiracy theory.
This is my YouTube channel. They won't let me upload it.
Isn't there some alternative that these people use to YouTube when YouTube doesn't let them on? I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe YouTube.
That's only in Mexico. That's only in the most formal parts of Mexico.
I've been back at Duolingo. Doing pretty good. The owl is really proud of me.
Is that how it gauges your success?
If the owl's proud of me? No, you get points, but every once in a while the owl will pop up. He'll stick his head out and like, you're doing great. Impressive.
So he's like the paperclip from Microsoft.
A little
Word,
bit, yeah. A little bit
which
less
comes
annoying.
so far. What do you mean annoying? He was the
paperclip was annoying.
Paperclip was my greatest comedy influence.
You'll figure it out, dear boy. That's how he talked. Wow, you've got spacing down. Don't tell me. I know.
I know how to space. Now give me a clip art image of a duck. Yeah,
You're dressed like a European model right now.
I mean, is anything different than any other time? Look, you can see my belly button through the top of my shirt.
You're wearing like a brandless shirt that like
Well, because I'm trying to wear, because I knew it was going to be kind of hot today, so
Yeah.
I'm wearing sort of my,
you want to be hot.
yeah, I dress with the weather. If it's cold and frigid, so am I.
Cosplaying the weather.
Today I'm Heat Wave. You might remember me from last month. As we've talked about last time, I'm going through all of my shirts that are like at the bottom of my dresser, which is just one long basket.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one long pit of clothes. But
A hole in the floor.
a lot of those shirts are so thick, which is why I never really wear them.
Right.
But now I have to dip into my A game because the
It-
weather's getting hot.
This mentality has gone into you figuring out our shirts. Our Ally Meekly shirts is the same, like, it can't be too thick or else I'll sweat too much, but you don't even wear one.
Yeah, because they're moving like crazy, which, by the way, they are all for sale. They're for sale, and they're moving like crazy, but we have a ton more, but they're moving like crazy.
We have
No,
so many that they can move like crazy and still wouldn't take an effect on the space in my apartment.
by the way, perfect shirt for this weather. They're moving like crazy. Let me just say, they're moving like crazy. Melissa had to wear our gas mask into the post office for like an hour because everyone in the post office is currently sick with coronavirus, but they're moving like crazy. They're moving like crazy.
She had it personally delivered herself.
I made her.
And I
'cause
kept
I'm
her
too
out in the sun
scared.
for 2 days to make sure she doesn't have it. Burn it off, you know?
3 days.
Moving like crazy.
Moving like crazy. She wasn't after those 3 days in the sun. But those shirts are moving like crazy. Speaking of fans who love us and we do anything for them, we have 2 new Patreon people to give a shout.
What are their names?
Here we've got a new welcoming to I like to call it the convent. The LA Makeley digital convent. We don't provide digital content. We provide a digital convent for you to come shelter yourself in.
Tell us all your secrets. And that's just like so we get to know you better. And then we're going to put you in a circle and you tell all the other Meeklings what you don't like about them. That's a form of breaking each other down and learning boundaries, which we don't really have any.
And then
I
we'll-
do, but you don't.
Moving like crazy. Tell us all the things that good friends know about each other. Your mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
The street that your elementary school was on.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pet growing up?
Simple things like that. And then we'll get to the hardest thing of like, which family member do you want to die the most? You know, is there a crime that you always thought about committing? And we'll get that on tape just so like because I scatterbrain Jane over here.
We just want this all, for our personal.
We're going to put it in the file.
The X-Files. That's my other thing I've been doing all month. I've been getting my GED and watching the X-Files.
Who are the Patreon people? Who are our postcard pals?
We got Scott Engel
Hi, Scott.
and Audrey Aronoff.
AA?
AA.
You're in the secret alliterative name club, like Greg Gonzalez.
And Daniel's. Oh, wait.
Oh no, you did it wrong. You don't know what that is, huh?
No.
You're pretty
I never got my
stupid.
GED.
Next week I'm gonna get it in English.
Dean Martin. Wait, Dean Martin. I hope there's a dean of
There
some
has
school.
to be a Dean Martin. Please just call me Dino, please.
Here's the treasurer of the school, Jerry Lewis. No, it's Jerry Lee Lewis.
He's not allowed near schools anymore, but hush, hush.
Not the famous one. It's Jerry Lee Lewis. Don't worry. Let's get into. We talked about it a little bit. I got my GED. I'm getting my GED.
You got your
I'm watching the
GED.
X-Files. What did you do in the past month of May?
Let's
Merry,
see.
merry month of May.
I went to something not in the confines of LA. Calm down. Sit back down. Sit back down.
No, I won't sit down. You can't silence me this time. I'm shaking your hand.
I went to the Mission Drive-In, the Mission Tiki Inn in Claremont
yeah.
to watch Vast of Night, which was pretty good. I wouldn't know because the drive-in experience is half incredible and half kind of awful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love being there, but you should always go for a movie that you either don't care about or seen a bunch, because when somebody pulls in an hour late into the movie and they flood the screen, kind of hard. And I was worried because
Why don't they just drive in with their lights off?
I kept telling people, listen,
Turn
rolling in the dark.
the lights off.
I did that. I've been at Travel Town as a volunteer. I've been
Well, I want to
painting
talk
on-
about drive-ins a little bit.
Yeah,
First
let's talk
off,
about it.
drive-ins, I feel the same way. I would never go see a movie I've never seen before at
Yeah.
a drive-in. I think I remember seeing Braveheart at the drive-in, and I was like 7.
Okay.
I remember eating a lot of McDonald's in the back seat, but I wasn't even looking
Yeah.
because it was like a Toyota Tercel, and I was facing away from the screen because I had McDonald's.
Yeah, obviously.
Why would I want Braveheart? I can't.
It's a cool,
The
like if you go
idea
with a
is
crowd of
cool.
people you like and you're comfortable.
You're just hanging out.
it's kind of a hangout spot, and that's cool. I like that. But like,
Hang on.
That's
Car,
obviously-
so Astrid Gilberto walked by again.
You know, if you watch movies of that era where they go to the drive-in all the time, they're usually necking.
Yeah. Or
Outsiders,
about
they're
to get
fighting.
murdered by a werewolf.
About to get murdered by a werewolf. They're gonna go in Targets and get shot from behind the screen.
Good things don't happen. Necking. No. No.
Please no. Or they go to hang out with their friends. So like watching the movie was always like secondary to the experience of hanging out with your friends.
What about the social distancing aspect of it?
I mean, everyone's in their cars with their windows rolled up, which was
That sounds
I felt
miserable.
safe.
That's safe, but it's not like I don't want to suffocate.
I don't think you get how that works, but
When this whole thing started, I sealed up all my air vents in my car. So should I not go? I don't know.
you
That's
call it an apartment. I call it a coffin.
That's what I've heard, maybe not from there, but from other drive-in places around the country. People are just like going and sitting in the back of their trucks.
Yeah.
So I guess we could see what part of the country this is, but they're
Yeah.
sitting in the back of their trucks and just like, hey, you want some whatever?
Yeah, it still feels really loose.
Yeah, but
People
also
were walking
going to the
around.
bathroom.
That's
is
what
my
I was
biggest
thinking too.
fear.
I would like held it for a very long
Yeah.
time.
They
You know,
were-
you bring your own food in. Obviously, you don't always have to do that, but this time you did.
Did they come by saying no food?
No, then nobody said anything. It was-
So it's not a real movie theater experience.
nobody muscled you into buying popcorn you didn't want.
Oh, the church bells chime. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! They're gonna find out he's Jewish because he's outside when the church bells rang.
Why aren't you in the pew? They're open. I wonder if that church is open. I want to say they've had signs out front about pray abortion away, so I'm sure they're open.
They're
right now
probably
for
open.
services.
I have a feeling the same mind frame is like this isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
We're pro-life, but we need you all to pack in here as tight as possible. I also went on Joan Renner, who is the crime queen of LA, host of Deranged LA, had a presentation for like Serial Killers 101 for a course that she wants to have. So I took it over Zoom, which is what we've all been doing lately, and it was really neat. And Mr. Amateur Historian, thought he knew everything, and she nice and
You kept pressing the raise hand button
yeah.
on Zoom.
I have a question. Can you hurt me? And she did. I learned about the toolbox murders, and now I'm completely traumatized now.
Is that an LA thing or?
Yeah, it was an LA thing.
Save it. Save it for our Joan Renner.
No, we'll never
episode.
talk about this one. We're never going to talk about
I
this.
don't know.
I don't know.
I think we did a pretty risky intro. If you let me do my edit of it, I think we can do a gruesome murder.
Your turn. What have you been up
Well,
to? I guess
I
you've been
mean-
telling everybody that you're currently Mulder and your wife is Scully. And
That's
this
what
is the Levin situation.
When we first started watching, we're like, I wonder which one of us is Mulder and which one's is Scully. And now we're like 7 episodes in. It's pretty clear who's Mulder.
I think you need to step outside of your body every once in a while and look at your behavior.
We all need to re-examine the Mulder inside of all of us every once in a while. You're the smoking man. I hope the smoking man is in this one.
I'm one of the...
Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting tantric. I'm watching Air Force One.
which you loved, by the way.
I watch. Oh my god, my voice. Oh no.
My voice!
My musical history. This isn't my thing of the month, but I watched Air Force One finally. Maybe one of my favorite movies I've seen in the whole quarantine.
great.
It's such a good movie, and like we were talking, like it's not only is it just a solid movie,
Yeah.
but watching like, oh, that's a good man as a president.
Yeah, what a
That-
responsible president
Yeah.
he is. What a fighter.
He protected his family and let the other hurt people get off the plane first. Boy, would a president never do that in reality.
He didn't spend the entire time licking Cheetos off his fingers, whatever I imagine Trump does.
Please
all the-
kill my wife. Kill my wife, please. The Donald Trump story. Now that you've crammed 3 things of the month, but
It was 2.5.
we did that talk through the library on Zoom,
Uh-huh.
you and me, through the Los Feliz library
that's
or
right.
something. And it was about getting jobs as TV writers, and they interviewed
Melissa Hunter.
yeah, and then the director of 20 Feet to Stardom or something like that. But just the library is doing so many Zoom. All of their programs are now switching over to Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be crazy if they didn't keep doing this when things, like even if they have live programs again in a year or whatever, like do it on Zoom so that if you don't live in Reseda,
Yeah.
you live in San Pedro and you want to watch it, like do that. So there's so many good things going on. But my thing of the month,
No, you've had to.
Air Force One doesn't count, okay? Air Force
What?
none. My thing of the month is Ralph's Pickup.
Jesus Christ.
If you shop at Ralph's and you aren't doing the pickup service, you're insane. It's free to do it. You go on the app, you pick everything you want, and then you select a time, you pull up. There's so many people who still get out of the car and
Yeah.
like talk to the people. Leave them alone. Like
Yeah.
someone at our Ralph's died of coronavirus. Like leave these people, like if you can have as little contact with
Yeah.
them as possible, do it. So you just pull up, pop your trunk, call a number, they come down and put it all in. But the best thing is if they don't have something or they have something similar to
Yeah.
it, even if you pick like, I want the Kroger brand pasta. Oh, we're out of Kroger brand
Prostra.
prostates. But we do have like this $8 a box pasta. They'll give you that and charge you the Kroger brand
Really?
price. So they'll
The
give you
price match or whatever?
They'll price match it all. So, and now they're pretty good. There's no garlic in the world anymore, but like most stuff they still have. What, you have a bunch of garlic? Give me your garlic. That stuff's moving
I'll
like
sell you
it's
a
moving like
clove.
crazy. It's moving like
$50.
I'm selling cloves of garlic on Amazon now.
Yeah, I've done a couple pickups for like Home Depot and
Yeah, Home
and,
Depot's
like,
doing it for free
Dick's
too.
Sporting Goods, and I like
You're
that
getting at
everything
Dick's
feels.
Sporting Goods.
I stopwatch and running shoes. I'm gonna start running again.
Joan Renner shoes.
Yeah.
I need a new hunting rifle. What's the big deal?
I like that everything feels like a drug deal.
Yeah, it does.
Like you have to drive into our dark parking
You
lot
know
and
what,
leave your
my-
trunk open, and we're gonna put stuff. And the money already went through. Your wire transfer already went through. We're gonna put that stuff in the trunk.
Your wife is out back. You can have her when you drive away. You know what my parents did? Because there's this Thai restaurant near them that we really like, but they aren't on Grubhub, so they don't do contactless delivery, and they're not doing any delivery that, for whatever reason, they're behind the times, and you still have to go in and give them your credit card. But they arranged a thing like, how about we call you, we're going to order it all, we're going to drive up, pop the trunk, there's going to be an envelope full of cash in the trunk, just leave it,
Wow.
and they did it. So like figure out, even
Yeah,
if
there's ways to do it.
There's so many ways to do it that like stay in your car. Like if you're doing this pickup, but you're then getting out of your car to stand next to the person working there and talk to them, like you're defeating the purpose. Like keep these people safe. They
Yeah.
need to go to work.
Just-
Make it easier for them.
If you're running out of ideas, watch any movie with a severe kidnapping, or watch All the President's Men.
Watch Air Force One. If I don't get a clove of garlic in 30 minutes, I'm going to shoot this tomato
Shoot the
with
president.
Greg's new hunting rifle from Dick's Sporting Goods. Where is there a Dick's Sporting Goods?
Glendale, there's one.
Okay,
Where is
that
there a
makes
Dick's
sense.
Sporting Good? Obviously, you're not athletic.
I'm a European model. I think I'm
I don't
quite
need to be athletic.
But yeah, that's my thing of the month is staying away from people as much as possible. And
Your
by
dream
the way,
job.
Trader Joe's, get an app and do pickup. You've dropped the ball on this
Yeah, Trader
already.
Joe's is showing their true colors.
Yeah, I don't know what sort of folksy sort of like
We're just a small town little yeah.
Just develop an app. I'm sure someone who works for you already knows how
Yeah.
to do that.
You guys have a podcast. Why not have an app?
Yeah, I don't know. Do that and make life easier.
Especially since no one's enforcing mask rules there.
No, yeah, that's what I was telling you at the Trader Joe's near us. They're not enforcing the rules because they're afraid of people threatening them from
Yeah.
telling them to wear a mask.
Pretty ridiculous.
Great country. Let's go on to this month. It's June.
Uh-huh.
We have a listener question. This one is from Joanna Linkhorst.
Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Joanna. I hope you're being safe.
Always.
I hope you didn't leave that back door unlatched again. Hope you're being real safe. So her question, it's in regards to our episode from last month. It was something I mentioned briefly. It was actually something I mentioned briefly in the listener question from last month.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Her question is, what was the U.S. Army balloon school? Because remember we talked about it.
Yeah,
That
I
was one
remember
of the...
that. We laughed a lot.
Oh, God. Let me think about Let me think about the good times.
Balloon school. What's me blowing up a balloon for balloon school?
Giraffe. Yeah, that was one of the first places where the Spanish flu started breaking out in Los Angeles. But
Daniel, will you tell us about the balloon school, please?
during the beginning of World War the First one, airplanes were
Mustard
pretty
gas.
new and awful. They couldn't stay in the air longer than like 30 minutes, and they could barely land without breaking something every single time. So the Allies needed something to spy on the Germans with, but man wasn't meant to fly. So what other technology did we have that was capable of floating up in the air? Ah, yes. Children's playthings. The balloon.
We took a seesaw into the sky.
We saw the movie Red Balloon and we thought, I could use that for war. A balloon could stay up in the air for 10 hours and it could get high enough that people on the ground couldn't shoot at it with your Dick's Sporting Goods merchandise. So the Army decided to make big old balloons and put people in them that could observe what was on the ground and report back via radio. This was their alternative to airplanes that were not safe.
How
or reliable.
brave to go up in a balloon that it can easily be shot down.
It couldn't be. It couldn't be shot
What?
down because I told you it was too high up in the air. A bullet can't. They were like a mile high in the air.
Sorry, I've been fascinated about my rifle. Sorry, I've been fascinated. I've been shooting balloons now.
You said
so.
Dick's Sporting
I've
Goods,
been
and it made me excited about
into
two
a
things.
trance, yeah.
It made me excited about my rifle and what the rifle was a metaphor for.
A bigger gun.
So this group of valiant and whimsical men were called the Balloon Signal Corps,
Cool. BSC?
and as terrifying as this
Oh, there's a parade going on right now. Happy birthday to you.
My aunt and uncle and cousins, they live in New York, and my cousin just had his birthday, his like 28th birthday, mind you, and my aunt had the volunteer fire department drive by to wish him.
You liked it when you were 5.
So as terrifying as this whole balloon assignment sounded, they had the lowest casualty rate during the war, this group. Like I said, the balloons, they were like a mile high, so people, they couldn't shoot at them, but the problem was those rickety ass airplanes that were flying around. They were still a little bit of a problem, but the balloons were actually hard to deflate, so even if a plane shot them up, the people in it would still have plenty of time to parachute off of it and be safe. The only risk was that the balloons were filled with hydrogen, so if a plane were to shoot incendiary bullets at one, then you're in trouble, which is exactly what happened to the one guy in this entire group that died during the war. He was Lieutenant Cleo J. Ross of the Army Air Services 8th Balloon Company, which I can only imagine their pins. The balloon got shot with these bullets and it caught on fire, and when he parachuted off, the flaming balloon fell onto his parachute, and then his parachute caught on fire. He fell a mile to his death.
That's like a long time to be falling.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe it's quick.
Falling for a mile, I think it's like 2 hours of falling.
I may not have my GED like you, but there were a couple training sites for these troops around the country, but towards what they didn't realize was the end of the war. They wanted to open up a new site, but it needed to be a place with mild weather. So, of course, everyone looked at Los Angeles. Right. Maybe we can start like a sunglasses Army Corps or something like that also.
I'd like to just add real quick how cute it is to be in a balloon in the sky, and if anything goes wrong, you jump out because you have a secret, like a sub balloon in your backpack.
I have a folded up balloon.
Not to worry, I have a smaller balloon for rescue.
And if that balloon doesn't work, I have a third balloon. A few years before this, before they started looking for a new base, our old friend Lucky Baldwin had opened up a racetrack in Arcadia known as Santa Anita in 1907. Not long after that, it failed and burned down. It must have been shot incendiary bullets, pyrophile. So that was burned down by 1912. But Lucky's daughter, Anita, which I didn't realize, Santa Anita, then sold that. I'm sure we talked about that in whatever episode that we covered this racetrack, but I can't believe it. She then sold the land to the county, which brings us to May 1918. 4 officers of the Army come to the former Santa Anita racetrack, scouting it as a potential location for their new training school. They liked what they saw, and the land was given by the county to the War Department, and within a few days on May 13th, construction began on a new training site. All the building was completed by September 26th, but troops were there and balloons were in the air by the end of June already. The name of this camp was to be Ross Field, in honor of the one soldier that got killed during the war from the Balloon Corps. It was capable of holding about 2,000 soldiers at a time, but I don't think it ever really got, I think there were only like 700 or something like that maybe. They had a bunch of buildings, but a lot of the soldiers were still sleeping in the old horse stables for some reason, which is a common theme with Santa Anita.
We could build you something, or
you like horses. They even had a hydrogen plant on site that was creating hydrogen for the balloons, which sounds like a great
blow up. Yeah, like you're begging it to blow up.
This whole thing was like 184 acres, and the troops just spent their time learning how to maneuver these giant 95-foot tall BF Goodrich balloons they called gas bags. I think a lot of them were kind of like blimps, but I also read that blimps didn't come until after the war. But like I can't imagine they were in there in like around the world in 80 days.
Yeah, that's what I have in my head, and it can't be that, because if I thought of it right away, it has to be wrong.
If that's what my natural inclination was, I certainly didn't earn this GED. In addition to just running the balloons, they were also learning how to make maps and observe ground battles from up high. But there was one thing in this area that they didn't account for: the Santa Ana winds. So whenever those started blowing, it was too dangerous to go up in a balloon. So instead, they thought, what's that mountain up there? They would go to the top of Mount Wilson, because that was about how high they were flying.
Yeah.
They would have people at the base staging fake artillery battles. Artillery?
Battles?
You shop at Dick's Sporting
It's artillery.
Artillery?
Yeah.
Hootenanny battles? So they'd have these fake battles going on the ground, and the people on the mountain would observe all of them as practice. There weren't many incidents on the base. One time a cannon exploded and 2 soldiers died.
That's awful.
Back to where all this began, it was one of the first places that the Spanish flu hit. Like I said, they had 152 cases on the base. 12 people died of pneumonia, but not of the flu.
Okay.
I-
Psych.
It sounds, yeah.
Psych, it's pneumonia.
I'm sure it's one of those things where it's like, technically they died of the pneumonia
Yeah.
caused by the flu. It wasn't the flu. They once had a tug of war here between the cadets of the Balloon Corps and the Navy divers from San Pedro.
Wow.
Imagine.
I would love to watch that.
While World War I is raging, this is what's going on in Arcadia.
The real fight's going on in Arcadia, California.
People at the Battle of the Somme, under 400 dead bodies of their friends. Did you hear who won the tug of war?
I got rope bird still. Look.
They had their own newspaper on the base called the Arcadian Observer. The first person to graduate from here was Walter Ham of Boyle Heights on November 10th, 1918. Does that date sound familiar?
Say it again.
November 10th, 1918 was their first graduate. The war ended the next day, and his services were no longer needed.
Because he won the war in a day.
Get
That's
over
how
there.
great the Balloon Corps was.
Oh, Das Schnell! They've activated the Balloon Corps.
Surrender. Surrender immediately.
Das surrender. Even before the war ended, planes had gotten better, so the balloons weren't even really needed anymore by then. The Army maintained the base until 1924, but with no Germans to spy on old-timey style, in June 1919, they decided to put the balloons to another use, keeping an eye out for forest fires in the Angeles National Forest.
Pretty nice.
So they'd float the balloons 3,000 feet in the air with a telephone line running down to the ranger base.
Is this Green Acres?
Oh, shucks.
I think there's something wrong with your roof.
They'd call in any fires that they'd see. They got so good at it that they could spot and have firefighters at a fire within 15 minutes.
Wow.
It was so successful that they even started talking about making it a permanent tactic in the city, but nobody wanted to pay for it. So
Oh,
look
here's
how
this thing
turned
that
out.
works. I hate it. We're for free.
In 1923, they got even more bored and they started breeding war hero carrier pigeons on the base.
Say that again?
There were carrier pigeons in World War I.
Got it.
Some of them were considered heroes, so they started breeding these hero pigeons to create hero offspring for future wars
Wow.
at this base. One of them was called the Mocker, who had carried a message in the last final push of the war to help locate and disarm a hidden machine gun nest. This pigeon lost an eye during this.
Salute that bird.
Yeah, they brought him here to breed him.
Mocker, he needs a meekling pin.
And today it's Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day, Mocker.
This
Thank you
one's
for
for
your
you,
service.
Mocker.
And the
Ano-
bird just squawked too. Did you hear that?
It's one of the offspring. That bird, that one-eyed bird.
That bird eating trash. You must be hero blood.
Look at this noble bird eating this dead skunk. Another plan in the making was to make it a departure point. This base, it was going to be a departure point to travel by balloon to St. Louis, Los Angeles to St. Louis by balloon. But in 1924, the Army abandoned the land and gave it back to the county, where it became a civilian airfield for a while, where Poncho Barnes learned to fly. Do you know who that is?
No.
It sounded familiar. Poncho was a woman. My favorite riddle.
Oh, did we talk about her in the
Maybe she was
Amelia?
like stunt pilot.
Oh yeah.
but she learned how to fly there.
Cool.
Poncho Barnes.
Poncho Barnes.
The building of the base started getting torn down in the early 30s. By 1935, it had become Arcadia County Park. The Elks Lodge is an original building that's
Okay.
along with a stone wall left over from the pool.
Very nice of
Old
you guys to
stone
leave
wall.
a wall. Thanks for leaving us a stone wall, guys.
Jerusalem style.
Put your hand on it.
Put in your messages and the hero pigeons will deliver to God. Okay, so that was last month. Let's talk about this is going to be a completely different episode.
Yeah.
Well, not completely different, but one of our looser episodes this
Yeah.
month, because you and I were supposed to be on vacation right now. You
Yep.
were supposed to be in Mexico. I was supposed to be in Spain.
Yeah,
But
or New Orleans. Once everything started hitting, like, okay, I'll downgrade to New Orleans, and then
it should be safe, where Mardi Gras happens.
Yeah, but now, you go to Ralph's and you celebrate. It was pretty funny to me.
I celebrate getting groceries put in my trunk, and that's like, I need a nap. I gotta stay inside for a week after this.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in Mexico. My longest trip outside of the country was supposed to be happening yesterday.
I know. It was so sad to see. It was so weird because you know how sometimes if you're going somewhere on your phone and you have it in your calendar, it fills that in. And yesterday I was like, I'm going to, and it filled in Dallas Fort Worth to transfer to New Orleans.
No, actually, phone. It looks like I have to update you on some things, huh?
Looks like I'm going to Ralph's again. The reasoning behind this, we were thinking, well, we're not going to have much time. We're going to be on the vacation of our lives.
Yeah.
So let's do sort of a looser thing to celebrate summer and talking about. You just heard about the pigeons and all that. That's the most history in this episode. We're going to be talking about things around the city that we like to do during the summer and what summer in Los Angeles kind of means to us.
Yeah.
And stories we have. And the stories.
And the stories,
Greg. The
great.
stories. I'm still doing soprano fingers.
You have to do X-Files fingers soon.
I can't believe I did it so perfectly, right, Greg?
I've never seen something. Are your hands okay?
They're stretching through a gutter right now.
to reach a file down that went into the sewer.
I didn't realize how often they actually specifically mentioned the X-Files in the
Oh,
X-Files
yeah.
show. I thought it was just sort of like an
A thought
idea,
frame.
but like, oh no, he has a file cabinet known as the X-Files.
Yeah. My favorite thing about the show is like, how do we take a character from Twin Peaks and mix it with Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs, and make a show.
Silence of the
The
Chocolate
Lab.
Labs.
I mean, X-Files is Silence of the Labs.
What were you going to say before we got into this?
I was gonna leave a preface, basically just saying people are dying and a lot of people have it really hard.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
So like, I know that us not being able to do this stuff in the summer is not the greatest tragedy of all time.
At the same time, it's also because everyone wanted to be doing stuff this summer.
Yeah.
This episode's going to be kind of sad of like, oh, this is what we all could have been doing.
Yeah, it feels like when I was making my list, it felt like, oh, this is making
Taunting
a memorial
people.
of the
Yeah.
summer. But there's a real memorial. It was posted on New York Times front page. So, we don't think that we obviously have it the worst. We're lucky enough to not know anybody personally who has it.
But I can't get frozen tamales from Trader Joe's.
But it's an extra step to get tacos. Why?
I have
I
to-
obviously am the victim here.
I have to sit in my car for like 10 minutes while the Ralph's people risk their lives to put groceries in my
to touch
trunk.
my trunk, and they don't know what
Touch
who
my
touched my trunk.
Yeah, and I didn't specify which trunk I opened for him. Do you want to go first on our... Greg, what
Something
do you like doing during
Very
the summer?
summary to me.
Yeah, what? Yeah, what?
Yeah, what? Synespia became my summer thing that I
Yeah,
look
you
forward
like
to
that.
every summer. Like, I had a lot of problems with it and the people that go, but I like Synespia a lot. Like, they'll be posting pictures of everyone out on the lawn, and it makes me want to be there. And I liked it a lot. It became me and Ada's new summer thing.
Well, I have the same problem with that I do with the drive-in of like I wouldn't want to watch a movie I've never seen
Yeah.
before in that situation because I although you assure me nobody's talking, I know people are. I hear them.
No, Synespia, nobody's talking.
Did I mention that all of the people there are actually tombstones?
They're all grinning ghosts.
Grim Guinea ghosts.
Yeah, grim guinea ghosts. Yeah, no, that's something. Like, going to the movies is something that, I mean...
Hey, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here.
So, obviously, you go first, and I'll just comment.
I said you go first, not go all.
Yeah, Synespia had become my summer thing, and it's a bummer, because that's obviously not going to happen this year.
No, one of my things was similar to that, concerts and plays in the park, which I used to go to concerts when I was younger, like more concerts,
Yeah.
at least free concerts in the
Altamont,
park.
all of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go to Woodstock 92. Or the ones I'm thinking of there's at the Warner Center, no relation.
Yeah.
Warner Center in Woodland Hills. They have these free concerts in the park. At Warner Center, it's normally cover bands. The ones I've seen there, I remember I saw Herman's Hermits. No. I saw Peter Noonan with fake Herman's Hermits.
Okay.
So I saw him performing with fake Herman's Hermits, but I've also seen like the Fab Four and those sorts of things, and they're really good,
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
fun.
really fun.
Yeah.
I think I saw a Queen cover band. No, that might have been a joke I made. But I've seen a lot of it's mostly cover bands there,
Right.
really. But it's fun. I'm sitting in the chair that I got for my wedding that I would now sit in, which we were so excited. We've got a picnic basket and lawn chairs from our wedding, and now we can't use any of it. But those are fun to do. And we also did last year Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah.
We did the one at Griffith Park, which was really good.
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, and then we did one at the duck pond.
In the haunted duck pond?
The haunted duck pond. And there was a guy there, because we got there late, so we were like way in the back. There were two like rich, middle-aged, dare I say, people who have my skin color.
Oh, right.
And they were just like standing in front of us. And
Hey, Romeo!
yeah, and just, round me out. This guy, he brought his dog with him, and he kept like yelling at the dog. Like he would be with his wife, like, hey, isn't this great?
Yeah.
Drinking. And then the dog would like stand up and he'd be like, sit down. And he kept like screaming at his dog. And then there was another guy. It was, I don't know. It was some war Shakespeare. It was one of the war Shakespeares. It was whichever one at the end is like, ye countrymen or whatever. And there's this big speech at the end. And there was a guy.
This big speech in a Shakespeare play? Go ahead.
Someone had a monologue in a Shakespeare play? I don't think it was Shakespeare. It must not have been Shakespeare. But
Go ahead, sorry.
there was a guy also towards the back where I was,
Yeah.
and he would be standing up, and throughout the whole time, he would be like, yeah. And when the guy was
God.
giving this big military speech at the end, he's like, yes, God bless you.
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes. That's
You're making me love quarantine even more by reminding me how awful people are normally.
Maybe we're not missing out on
Yeah.
so much.
No, we really aren't.
I mean, because these things are free, and I would never pay to see a Shakespeare play.
Obviously, yeah.
These are quality actors doing stuff, and it was Shakespeare by the Sea, I think, was the Duck Pond one, and then the other one was Indie Shakespeare Shakespeare or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, okay.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really fun thing to do. The movie things, I don't know. Because I don't mind as much people talking during a play because I have less respect for the theater.
Right, yeah. You like to antagonize live people as opposed to people.
Heckling is what I miss most during all of this. Do you ever go to any other than movies? Do you go to any of that outdoor
No,
stuff?
I don't like live performances.
I know
If
what you
not
mean.
Comedy.
Because we'll get to another thing that I think you can predict I'm going to be talking about.
Yeah.
That also, I hate it when people stand up and dance in front of me. I know that that's
You
what
do.
you're supposed to do, but it drives me insane. I hate
you're
it so much.
You have the perfect recipe of being an older conservative jerk. You're just not there yet, which I love.
Yet.
Yet. There's so many things where I'm like, that's why people sit up front, and I need to stop sitting in the back because the back is all where all the head cases are.
riffraff.
The riffraff.
But I also don't like sitting in the front because I feel like I'm obligated to.
wow.
Way to Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Nice soliloquy.
Yeah. And if
Bravo. Oh, you
it's
really did fool me for a while. I thought you were Mickey Dolenz.
the fear that anything could become like audience participation. No.
Yeah.
I can't. I got to be in the middle somewhere.
About like 10 rows back. I think that's.
Yeah, that's safe. That the people on stage can't see that far back. You, young lad, come play King Arthur.
Let the boy try. What's your next one?
I miss going to stand-up shows, like outdoor stand-up shows in the summer were like a lot of fun, like stories at Good Heroin, like any backyard show. Like it's not obviously not a thing during the winters. Like summer backyard comedy shows are a lot of fun. And I really miss being in a crowd full of people. Finding shopping funny,
Little shop of funny.
because it doesn't have the same. You obviously know that like being in a room with somebody, being in a crowd and watching someone perform stand-up, and when they have a good joke and everyone's laughing and it brings a house down, there's like an energy there that's really great, and it doesn't translate in Zoom.
You can press ha 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 in the chat.
Yeah, hit Control Alt funny, and no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I really miss it. I've been needing it. That's the thing that I've been needing.
I mean, I can't see that coming back for a really long time.
Yeah, not safely. I
No.
feel like all the
I wonder
the
if there's
renegades of comedy are gonna try to do something, but like,
hey, let them. Good.
yeah, weed out the numbers.
That's just not something that can happen until because you have to be like, think of the places that we've gone to. These shows are performed in these shows. It's what, like a 20-person place where it's 20 people on each other's lap the whole time. That's what's so funny.
I mean, seeing shows, performing on shows, it's usually a room meant for 25 with 3 people in it.
Yeah,
so like, I don't have any problems with that.
I guess I should specify other people's shows. If we're talking about our shows, ours have always been safe.
They're so safe. They're coronavirus safe.
We've been socially distancing involuntarily for
nobody
years.
will be 6 feet in front of you, and there's only 3 people in the room. They can't. You try to get them to stand 6 feet.
In my act, the laughs are 6 feet apart. Also, the laughs
6 minutes apart.
Yeah, they're 6 minutes apart, and I only get 4 minutes. That's just not something that can happen. I mean, maybe an outdoor one, like if you're like how we used to do an open mic at the Coffee Bean on Ventura Boulevard.
That would be a little more.
That could see kind of happening. Like maybe that's the way it'll shift, but like you can't, definitely not an enclosed space. But yeah, if you're outdoors and it's a backyard and you have like, it's a big backyard and you have like 10 people far apart, I don't know.
It's up to.
I wouldn't do it, but maybe.
Chris Crittenden and Cindy Arvina have a nice backyard for comedy.
It's up to the saviors of comedy.
Which they've always been. Yeah, no, I really missed that. And that was a fun summer thing, was like, we're going to go back outside and do the backyard shows again.
It was nice.
Yeah.
I remember sometimes when they would try to push the summer ones a little too close to fall, and everyone would just be like,
oh, yeah.
We would all look like, for some reason, Slender Man comes to mind, but
That's not right.
That's not right at all. Just like
Winter Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees goes to the mountains.
Bigger mask than usual.
Just like everyone bundled up and desperate for warmth.
Mm-hmm.
But we did that one show in your backyard.
Oh,
one
that's
time
right.
We put that show on.
In the winter.
Was it the winter?
Yeah, it was December.
Huh.
It was deep December. Freezing, but my aunt let us borrow those heaters.
Let me get to one of my big ones here.
Okay.
I think you knew, we were already alluding to it, the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
Wait.
I was winking at you, like, when are you going to talk about the Hollywood Bowl?
I have to.
Oh, you cried. This is his form of crying. It sounds like sneezing.
I haven't mastered my emotions, so I can either punch or I can sneeze. I don't know which means.
I don't exist in between those two things.
I have wild mood swings between punch and sneeze, which is also the name of my puppet show, Punch and Sneeze. Yeah, the Hollywood Bowl, it's well documented on this podcast how much I love going to the Hollywood Bowl during the summer and how important it is to me. But I knew this was coming. I knew, like, there's no way it's going to happen. And then when they announced it, it still hurt badly.
And that's the worst, is when you prepare yourself and you're like, they're going to say it. I'm going to be elegant in my acceptance. And then it happens. You're like, what? Why? How come?
What's the matter? I can't go to my Hollywood Bowl.
You just ran out every other aisle. How about that?
How about you do live private shows for me? Yeah, when I heard about that, boy, did I punch and sneeze.
Yeah.
Especially this year. Let me tell you the shows I had planned on going to this
Okay.
year. There were some good things I was looking forward to. First off, the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Not Brian Wilson, but the Beach
Beach
Boys.
Boys. Kind of missing the secret ingredient, huh? Kind of missing the
Who,
missing
the
your
dead
best
one?
soldier.
The dead one?
Mike Love.
Here's one I was really looking forward to. They were going to, there's some woman who like reimagines John Williams music, and
Oh.
he was going to conduct it while she was performing it.
Wow.
So it was going to be like Star Wars and
Yeah.
Jaws and all that, but
Like a remix of it.
a remix of it, and I was really interested in that.
Yeah.
Canceled. They were going to have another Bugs Bunny thing.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Bugs Bunny I would have gone to with you. This is another one I was expecting to go to with you. They were going to have a night of Dave Brubeck music,
Oh,
which would have been great.
It's a dream of the things that'll never come. Like mine.
How about we have a Zoom Brubeck where there was going to be a B-52s
I would
concert?
have begged to go to that.
I wouldn't have let you come to that with me. Only Dave Brubeck and Bugs Bunny.
I know how you respond to beehive hairdos. It's not good.
You're something of a murder wasp. You would have seen red and gone crazy. The actual real John Williams music was going to have his regular
Yeah.
night. Here's another one you would have gone to, Night of Rhapsody in Blue. Like the
Ooh.
centerpiece was going to be Rhapsody in Blue.
I would have loved that.
Here's one you would have insisted on going to with me. Matchbox 20, which...
Don't play. Don't even joke.
Don't
okay?
josh me.
Are you joshing me?
When Melissa said like, oh, what about Matchbox 20? I was like, why would I go to Matchbox 20? And she's like, you know this song, and she played it, and she played like 5 songs, and I was like, yeah.
It turns out I'm actually a fan of this
I
band I
lied.
make fun of all the time. Oh boy, what happened?
I guess now I have to change my punchline to 5 for Fighting. That really is disappointing to
Yeah.
me, because that to me was
That's your
the
thing.
centerpiece of summer for
Yeah,
me.
and I when I read it, I knew he's punching the sneeze right now. He's sneezing. He's trying to punch the mist.
Such a beautiful memoir, Punching the Sneeze Mist. Not unexpected, but still painful when it
Yeah.
happened. What are some of our stories from the Hollywood Bowl? Do we have any stories? One time my mom
the
fainted.
Bartman was one of my favorite stories. We went to go see the Simpsons songs the
music.
Simpsons
Yeah.
perform
with Conan O'Brien.
with Conan as Lyle Landley. One of my absolute favorite moments of being alive ever.
Yeah.
Even though he was just a red speck moving across.
because we
the
were
distance.
there's a certain point where you can sit far back enough where there's a time delay.
Yeah.
So, and we were beyond that
Yeah.
point. We were like past Mach
We were
3
in a
or whatever.
different time zone. Yeah.
The whole show was going, and it was such a great time.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like,
This is-
we've got
Yeah.
one special treat for you. One last thing.
And I was like, it could be literally anything. They could bring anybody out right now, and
Are
I'll
they,
be so
are
happy.
they going to sing See My Vest one more time?
Yeah, they're gonna do the Planet of the Apes musical song one more time. Drool dripping on my lap. Anything they do, I'll love it. And then it was Bartman. We're like, we can go right now, right? We can just leave.
But I don't know if I had ever heard the Bartman or at least heard it in its entirety. And I was looking to you like, did you know about this?
I remember when I was like
responsible?
5 and thinking like, what the hell is this?
It was so weird.
They-
And also it was even weirder because we had the time delay. So
Yeah.
we could like see the moves and they weren't even synced up to the music.
Yeah,
They weren't even doing the Bartman
Signature
to time.
move is being out of sync.
That was a low point. I've seen a lot of. One time, my dad was peeing next to David Hyde Pierce at the Hollywood Bowl.
It's a good get.
I like to walk out. If you go to the left, I
Yeah.
like to walk down that way because then you walk by where the rich
Yeah,
seats. I've seen the big guy from Lost. And I saw Kevin Nealon in my cheaper seats, like wandering around Lost. It's just a fun place to be.
It is, yeah. The last time I was there was for the field trip we did.
Yeah.
And we wandered into the rehearsal.
Yeah,
which
that
was really nice.
That was another thing. They furloughed like a massive number of staff, and I'm wondering, like, I wonder if she lost her. I wonder
Yeah.
if the executive director lost her
Probably
job.
not. I hope not. Next on my list, I know you don't like to do this, and I do it very
Is it the
infrequently
Bartman?
because I work so much.
Okay,
but when
it's
I
the
can get
Bartman.
to the beach, I really enjoy myself.
Okay, let me check my notes. Do I like going to the beach?
I think that you like sand. You don't like outdoors. You don't like people blasting their radio, so you wouldn't like the beach. But once we talk about salt water and a monumental amount of it,
Did somebody say we're going to the salinity pool? I think I specifically didn't write it down because I knew you would bring it up.
Okay.
I hate going into the water, but I do love being on the beach.
yeah, you do.
I like digging.
You're very Larry David about it.
I like digging holes in the beach.
You're because the archaeologist in you is like, I bet we could find a big bone right here.
I like finding big bones, and I cannot lie.
Anywhere I can find them.
Another thing I like to do is walk along the beach and watch stuff wash up on the beach.
Oh, right.
I like
right.
find.
You're such a ghoul.
I said to Melissa, I don't even know if it was a joke. Like, how much does it cost to get one of those metal
Oh my God.
detectors? Because why not? That's so much fun.
Well, why not? I have a list of reasons why not. Because you don't want to be that guy.
Why not?
You look like a European model, and you pretend like you're, a fancy guy. I like to watch John Williams, but we all know that you're.
In
just
reality,
some
I'm a
weird-
German tourist. That sounds like so much fun to me because after a certain point, like, all right, what am I going to do here? Oh, I can try to find a Rolex.
Right. I could try to find a Rolex that washed up. That'll be damaged from salt water. Like, it's pretty obvious. You have a long joke about why you don't like the ocean. You don't even dip your feet in?
No, I can't do that anymore. I used to, when I was younger, I would go boogie boarding, and I loved boogie boarding. But now my fear of the ocean has gotten so much that, like, I can't even, the idea of stepping on a crab shell or like a rock or seaweed, God forbid, seaweed gets anywhere near me. I just can't, my constitution can't handle that anymore.
First of all, you need those ocean shoes that are, like, ribbed at the bottom, ribbed for your pleasure, and you don't even feel anything.
Ribbed for my phobias. That's only part of it, by the way.
Okay.
Like, I'm also terrified that a shark's gonna bite me because that happens in like a foot of water. Like, most of the attacks happen right on the shore.
Then go deeper. Past them.
How about I drop you off in international waters and you swim back?
I have an aunt in Maui, so we went a couple times when I was a kid.
She's in a better place now.
She's in a better place.
Tell that story, just so, because I think we joke about that a lot, but tell that story.
My grandma moved to live with my aunt who lives in Maui, and my cousin, who's a very funny guy, Michael, said on Facebook, I wish that her and I had more time together. She helped raise me, and she's incredibly important to me, but she's in a better place, meaning Maui. And everyone just started posting, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry. And I'm pretty sure he planned it, but I don't know. I like to think he didn't plan it. Every once in a while, something funny happens that he didn't plan.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you mean like the loss of I bought her plane ticket? What do you do when you're at the beach?
Oh, you go in the water, you swim around, you splash, you sometimes boogie board, sometimes just like ride like up and down the waves, go under the water. It's just so cold and nice, and
The idea of what lies beneath.
that's part of the charm. You've dipped into this monumental piece of the earth, this thing that covers 70% of the earth, and you're bobbing in it. How neat is that?
That's what terrifies me. I'm a little speck bobbing in this giant thing, and guess what? There's a bigger speck right below my feet.
You
It's
wish
called
it was a
seaweed.
speck. If we looked at like NASA footage of the area you're in, there's this big smear, and you're like, what's that?
There's not even blood in the water. The sand is red because there's so much blood.
But when I was in Maui as a kid, I remember swimming and something brushed against my leg, and I never figured out what it was. I know that I think I have secret powers because I teleported that day. I was in maybe like
Suddenly.
15 feet of water, and then suddenly I was
Back
in
in
the car,
Echo Park.
hiding, screaming in the car. Like, I flew back.
It's just not worth it to me. Talking about my fear, like, it's gotten so bad. If I'm in a shower and the water suddenly gets cold and my eyes are closed, I'll start freaking out.
Oh my
Because I
God.
feel like I'm like, oh my God, someone threw me in the ocean. I knew Greg did this. I knew Greg would do this to me.
Sucker. I knew he'd have to take a shower at some point.
I knew
Even
it.
during quarantine, which he said he never do.
It's Memorial Day. I knew he was going to shower today.
One of my best memories was the day before we recorded on Vanessa Gritton's podcast, Take a Walk. We did the murder map with her. Like, I knew enough about the Mary Parker murder, but I needed to, like, go through the whole book. I forget what book it was. So I drove to, like, Malibu, and I was just completely alone, and I just read about the murder of Mary Parker on the beach by myself. It was so nice.
Yeah. I mean, I do love beaches. Like,
Yeah.
tide pools. I love tide,
Tide
pools.
pools, you like tide
I got engaged at a tide
You did,
pool.
yeah.
But
She was like, why aren't we at the beach? And you just started crying, and you got on your knees, but it wasn't to propose. It was because you were just like, you couldn't hold your body up because you're so scared of the ocean.
only one knee gave out. Yeah, I love tide pools. That is really fun to
Yeah.
do.
What a
We
dork.
got hang on. Must have been getting some feedback. I think a car drove by. What'd you just say? We got engaged at the Leo Carrillo one, and there wasn't much to see at that time of the year. But I chose to do it there because earlier on, one of our early dates was going to the tide pool in San Pedro, which was really cool. And apparently people die there all the time. But
Dare me to die.
those are really fun to do. I don't know. I love walking along the beach. Like, we went to Ventura or Oxnard or something a while back, and that beach had sea glass.
Oh, yeah.
So just walking and seeing like, oh, here's some more glass.
Yeah.
It's fun to be there, not fun to be in the water.
I disagree with you. I'm just a braver guy. Like, I just have like a braver spirit.
Boogie boarding is really fun, though.
It's a lot of fun. I like all that stuff. I like, I've always wanted to jump off of a pier into the deep, into
a shark's mouth.
the shark's mouth, directly into a whale's blowhole.
Your legs sticking out of it.
Pinocchio. I've
I'm
always,
here for my boy.
I desperately want to go on a boat. I love being on boats. I just never had enough in my life.
I love fishing. and I love being on boats.
I need to know somebody who has a boat or buy my own because I
I've
really want to
driven
do
a
that more
boat
often.
before.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, not like
What
a
are we doing?
sailboat. Yeah, what are we doing on land?
Yeah, what are we doing on land? This is stupid.
I feel like whenever my family, we would go on vacation like Ventura or something like that, but we would always rent boats. And I would be like 7 years old and they would let me drive the motorboat.
Right.
So I know how
They
to drive
gave you like a
boat.
fake steering wheel, and they're just like, "Go at it."
No,
and my
no,
best
no,
memory
no.
is steering my family to safety.
Tell it to that man I ran over.
Tell that family of bobbing children and like slaughtered.
Tell it to those sea lions that no longer bark. They bark with the fishes now.
But I keep shut up. I keep driving
Whale
to the
watching
beach
also.
since the quarantine. Like maybe 4 times now I've driven to the beach and I just like, like I
Yeah.
just want to go, but I don't want to be the a-hole who goes to the beach.
Yeah, it's not a good time. But I'm also like, because Melissa grew up by the beach,
Yeah.
and
She's
you
a beach
did
boy.
Beach boy girl.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up by the beach, but you're still one of the like, I gotta get to the beach. Like
Yeah.
I've never been like, if I don't go to the beach for 5 years, like I don't really care.
I love it. You're sick. You don't actually. You were raised by New York people, so you just don't get it
Yeah.
yet. Your kids will get it though.
I like going to sort of like a steep, rocky drop off into a dirty river. That's what I like.
You know what I like is ports.
I like going down to the wharf and just, I don't know, greeting the immigrants. That's what I like doing. What's your favorite beach? And we've kind of talked about what's your favorite beach?
I like Redondo Beach a lot. That's
okay.
one that I tend to go to. It's far enough from Santa Monica for me to know that there won't be any attractive people there.
What?
But as a kid, we used to. My uncle Fabian,
Uncle Fabi?
Uncle Fabi, used to take me and my brother Mondo on the
The
bus.
Mondalorian?
Mondalorian. You better believe he loves that. He would take us on buses, and the two used to come all the way up Echo Park Avenue, so we would take that all the way to Santa Monica. So we would just pack all our gear on the bus and take it. And I remember being a kid, and we would do that. We always ended up right next to the pier. We'd be right next to the pier.
Well, now you could take that train that you
Yeah,
still
I
have to
know.
kind of walk a distance, but
it's much better than taking a 2-hour bus ride, which is what the 4 and the 2 were.
let me talk about, because we're in Santa Monica now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do during the summer, though, is go to Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, the pier, yeah. The pier's
Because
great.
specifically, I like the ice cream shop that's at the, what do they call it? The Hippodrome?
I made a sign for the hip hop.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
The ice cream shop there it's an old time. They have like cherry lime Rickies
Yeah.
and phosphates and stuff, and regular ice cream. That's really good. And then the arcade is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the rides there. We got once a couple of years back. We got like a day pass to go on
Oh, really?
unlimited rides,
Yeah.
and it gave you like $10 worth of game credit also. So that was really fun.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
And they have concerts there too.
Mm-hmm.
And they invented Popeye or whatever there.
Glad you listened to the podcast.
And the 3rd Street area is also while you're there, and Hot
Yeah.
Dog on a Stick, and the old Synanon headquarters are
Yeah.
right there. It's fun.
Muscle Beach is right there, right off the pier.
Old Muscle Beach.
Old Muscle Beach. I really loved Santa Monica. I love walking around, especially at night. Like I would go drink at the beach at night. We'd park somewhere and
You're bad boys.
but we'd just walk around the
You're not
area
Beach
too.
Boys.
And
You're
I love
bad boys.
What?
You're not Beach Boys. You're bad boys. And we'll have drugs until the daddy takes my license away.
So Daddy does come home and then he wants drugs too. 'Cause that's the kind
man.
of bad boys that we are. But no, I love walking around the area, like just up and down the boardwalk, or just like the area around it. There's a brick building there near the sand that I'm convinced is like taken right out of a noir film. I have to take a picture of it, but like the way that the light hits it, and it's just a tall brick building on a small one-way street.
Well,
like,
there's
perfect.
There's some cool. There's that one hotel that's supposed to be really haunted that all the celebrities would stay at. There's
Right.
like cool buildings along the beach that are still kind of
Yeah.
originals, I guess. And the Camera Obscura also, if you
Obscura's
can
over
get
there.
it when it's open.
yeah, Redondo Beach Pier too is maybe my favorite. pier
Redondo
in the-
Beach. Well, no, they don't have the.
They don't have the
arcade
gross ass
anymore.
arcade anymore. They might be getting rid of Tony's, so if everyone wants to unite and save Tony's old
It's
old
too
Tony's on the
late.
pier.
How can we save it now?
I'm
How can
so-
I can't drive onto the pier to pick up food.
I'm so tired of everything feeling like a losing battle.
Yeah.
It's just so exhausting being like, we can save this thing, but who
Yeah.
cares because they're going to take it anyway.
Anything unique is going to be closed by the
Yeah,
next
and
episode we do.
Everything you love is going to be like an apartment complex for people from out of town, and it's pretty nice.
It's going to be an apartment complex, and on the bottom floor, it's a Whole Foods. Like that's the whole city. That's going to be the whole city. It's going to be one concrete block of Whole
Yeah.
Foods. Since we're on the beach still,
Yeah.
let me add one thing. It's something I've always wanted to do. Me and Melissa did it a little bit once, but starting, I forget what beach it is, but the Strand,
Mm-hmm.
that goes from like Malibu. Does it go to Malibu? It certainly goes past Santa Monica.
yeah, I don't think it goes to Malibu.
Yeah.
I think it begins at PCH somewhere, probably near the pool, that old whatever. Yeah.
Where John F. Kennedy had an affair or whatever.
Also talking about the one where what's the guy's name from Citizen Kane?
The real one or the fake
real
one?
one.
Orson Welles?
Or Not Orson Welles.
Joseph Cotton,
Jesus Christ.
William Randolph Hearst.
William Randolph Hearst built a pool for some woman.
Yeah, that must be what I'm thinking. I'm not
Yeah.
John F. He bought it for John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, he bought it for JFK. He
they were
didn't know
having
who he
an affair?
was, but he's like, I want you to sleep with Marilyn Monroe.
Make good use of this, Playboy. The strand that goes from wherever that
I think it starts
the
around
pool
that
of
area.
affairs
Yeah.
to past Redondo, like it goes really far south.
Deep, yeah.
I was on rollerblades and Melissa was on a bike, and we went to like Dockweiler was as far as
Oh,
we
right.
went. But I want to do one day all the way, like through Venice, through Santa Monica.
Yeah, me and Ada have been wanting to do that too. On two bikes now. None of us are impractical to get on.
You want to
rollerblades.
have a 4-person bike? You want to have a 4-person rollerblade that
It'll
we
be
go on?
3 people on a bike, and then Melissa has you on tow in a rope, and you shoot.
Like
You're
a
just
Buster
gliding.
Keaton
Yeah.
movie. But my wheels gave out 2 miles ago, and I've been setting fire the whole
Yeah.
way.
You're just riding sparks for 3 miles now. Yeah, that seems really nice.
That's
I'd
something
like
I've
to-
always wanted to do, along with my fantasy of walking down, like all the way down Van Nuys Boulevard. Like I
Oh,
want to
right.
go all the way down the Strand, which sounds really
That'll
fun.
kill you. That's not worth it. I walked a little bit on Van Nuys Boulevard, and when my
I
car
wanna-
broke down, and they were women of the night asking.
Yeah,
if
I want to
was
stop
okay.
at every motel,
Yeah, I want to stop at every woman of the evening.
every femme de la soir. I'm a European model. I know that. What else do you have?
I miss
What do you
going
like
to late
doing?
night diners when it's hot. I miss going to diners with you.
Yeah, that's a
like-
good one.
I miss watching you stress out because you can't pick between like a cake and a cookie at like 11:30 on a Tuesday.
I got away value versus price versus satisfaction.
I miss that stuff.
One that we would always go to was Crave Cafe,
Yeah.
but like on any given night, it's like the 7th grade cotillion is
Yeah, yeah.
happening. What are some places we like to?
We there are places that we like that we don't like. Like I can't take you to 101 Diner without it being a goddamn catastrophe. I can't even afford water here.
I can't even go into this place without accidentally making fun of Casey Kasem's daughter.
You made fun of Casey Kasem in front of Casey Kasem's daughter.
Yeah, I was talking about how much I hated Scooby Doo, and then I turned around and Casey Kasem's daughter was sitting next to us.
Okay, we told this story on This Is Rad because it happened on our way there, I think.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention that Casey Kasem does the voice of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. That's the piece of information that we forgot to include.
Why even give him that credit? That is a good thing. Like especially when it's hot, when we have some business plans to figure out, or after a show or an open mic or something.
Usually freaking out after a show. We'll sit
Yeah.
at a diner and cool off.
Yeah, that is a good thing. I remember specifically this wasn't at a diner, but it was like the hottest day of the decade, and we had just been on a show at Schoonerville.
Uh-huh.
And it was like 115 during the day, and it was probably like 11:30 at night, and we went outside and it was still like 105 degrees,
Yeah.
but we were all still just kind of standing around talking.
Sweating butts, yeah.
Yeah, that was still fun.
Yeah, those are good memories. I have a lot of good post-show memories that are like, the show's done, I bombed awfully, and now I could just relax in the agony of the memory of bombing in front of only my friends. And that's a fun summer thing. I mean, it's a winter thing too, but it hits different in the summer. We order different, and I like our summer orders better than our winter
Yeah.
orders. An iced tea, please, no coffee, because it's...
Everything with lemon on it. Everything.
House of Pies is a good diner, by the way.
Yeah.
That's honest.
They are honest. They're too expensive, but they are honest.
Yeah.
Not about their prices.
I wish that this was a late night diner. Joyce's on Reseda. God,
Yeah,
I wish that was
would be,
a
would
late
be
night
perfect.
diner.
There was the North Hollywood diner, but they kind of suck also.
Yeah,
like
they suck.
they completely remodeled,
Yeah.
so they don't even have that old diner
Oh,
charm
okay,
anymore. I like 4 and 20 Blackbird Diner, but I don't think they're very late night.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Crave is really our only option.
Yeah, for late night stuff.
Yeah,
You
they'll,
know,
they'll be out of business. Don't worry. We won't even have to make that choice anymore.
I forgot what we were doing. We probably went to a show at Meltdown, but one night we went really late to Carney's, and that was a good time.
Yeah, that was fun. Here's something I like to do at night.
That's your transition.
Yeah, here's my transition.
Stock.
You know when people just kind of leave their blinds open? That's my favorite part of the summer, when it's really hot and people leave their blinds open.
Because I'm Richard Ramirez.
Hi, I'm Richard Ramirez. Ice cream at night, getting ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great treat.
Yeah.
I remember one time, I think it might have been last summer, it was a hot day, cooler night, and we walked all the way to that like area of Studio City where there's a McConnell's ice cream.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
it was just like everybody
a
was
long
there.
line of people there.
And it's so satisfying. Even Thrifty ice cream. I mean, not even, especially Thrifty
Yeah.
ice cream on a hot night.
It's a thing I usually miss because I'm lactose intolerant, so nobody's
There's
serving
plenty
snow
of
cones at
there's
11:30.
plenty of dairy-free flavors now.
I
You
gotta-
can have your Raspato.
Oh God, that guy hasn't shown his face in a while, and it makes me really sad.
Who, the Raspato man?
Yeah, the one that goes around Echo Park Lake. Gosh darn it.
The only experience I had with Raspato was a Chamongo, and that was the worst thing.
That was your first one?
That was my first one.
You don't start with a dare. You go something simple. A raspberry, a vanilla.
Yeah, but Chamongo is supposed to be like, that's the type that you get. But I wasn't ready for that. My palate wasn't ready for that. There's so many good. Have we gone to, or maybe we just tried, but the line was too long and we ended up going to Thrifty's. But Salt and Straw, they have some good stuff.
I think they changed Scoops. Scoops isn't where it's in
Scoops?
Chinatown. Scoops used to be by LA Community College, LACC. Now it's in Chinatown, I think. There's the, what's that one everyone's crazy about in Los Feliz? Ice cream place.
Salt and Straw?
No, it's not. You're stupid.
Afters?
I have Afters. Afters is good. There's one in Pasadena. There's another one in.
Another ice cream place? Is it
Yeah.
Baskin Robbins?
Oh, stupid. 30-second flavor.
Oh, it's Kroger brand ice cream.
Brother, Magpies. So good.
Yeah, that's soft serve. Not interested.
That's what makes it good.
So it makes it good. There's barely any dairy in it. It's just kind of like thick water. It's velvety water. That's why we like it
it's
so
great.
much.
It's vomity water.
It's well documented. I
Yeah.
don't like soft serve.
You don't have a good reason for it. I think
It's gross. It's
not
bad.
gross, it's
it's
good.
bad food.
You're saying good wrong. You're pronouncing it bad.
Here's something similar to that cools you down. This is not something I do anymore because, as we discussed, I'm afraid of water now. Getting out of a pool on a hot night. When I used to go in the pool,
Oh,
that
right.
was very satisfying.
Yeah, for sure. I miss swimming. My only swimming I can do now is at the YMCA, which is not like fun summer swimming.
And
But
you can't even do that now.
I can't even do that now. But I miss going for a dip.
Yeah.
Having a friend with a pool. I'm watching people in quarantine and they're like, just gonna go outside, and they step in a pool. I'm like, you're doing this the right way. And I'm
Just
not.
going outside. They have a personal amusement park in their backyard.
Big
Yeah,
hunk of Disneyland right there. Hunk of Disneyland.
that's something that is because you're cold but like satisfied.
Yeah.
And quenched. Your body has been
Quenched.
quenched from the day.
The pool drank you.
In Soviet summer, pool drinks you.
I miss going on hikes. I mean, like summer hikes
Sound miserable.
are a little bit miserable, but we also missed a big chunk of spring too. And
Yeah.
like today is a beautiful day
Yeah.
in Los Angeles,
Yeah,
California.
It's nice under this parking structure, sure, but if you stand out there, Greg,
I
you're
don't-
gonna melt like the Wicked
I'll
Witch.
mal, but it doesn't make it a not nice day. It's still a nice
It's nice
day
to look at
from afar.
from under a parking structure. She's
but I-
nice to look at from under a parking structure.
Nice days are just Monets. I had a lot planned for the summer, and a lot of it involved like I'm gonna walk to the top of Echo Canyon finally. I'm gonna go on all these hikes. Having a girlfriend that likes to do things now, it's a different.
What are you trying to say? You say I don't like to do things when I was your girlfriend?
Yeah, you were maybe the worst girlfriend I've ever had.
You're putting me down. I'm not joking. I have to sneeze again. I think maybe I
Are
do.
you mad
have
or
a-
sad?
I don't know. I think I do have an emotional problem. I can't get
Sneeze
it
in
out.
my direction.
I can't get it out now. It certainly must be on my emotions then.
Yeah, I miss leaving an old bar really late at night. Is that a thing too?
If you're an alcoholic, yeah.
Maybe, possibly. Like I've been driving by Kohl's and their big neon sign is off, and it hurts my feelings. We've been drinking at home, and it's a little fun. You have a little more control. You certainly get your bangs worth, your bucks worth. Bangs worth. You get bang a buck worth. You get your like bucks worth when you buy a lot of alcohol because he's like, this is like 19 drinks I can make out of this. But like I want to sit in Kohl's with a drink that I made.
Maybe that's the way it's going to go. You
Yeah.
can use our facilities, but you have to bring all your own food and
Hey, love it. I would love to go to Pacific Dining Car with my own alcohol.
that you pour into your filters on your gas mask and like a visiting fish from another planet.
Put it in my gills.
This is specifically summer, but yeah, just being in a restaurant. No, maybe it is specifically summer because you go out more.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, if you're on vacation and stuff on the summer, you go out to eat more, and that's obviously something that I'm certainly missing.
I think that's the thing with this whole quarantine is like my joke for a long time is like time, money, energy, pick two. Like I either have the time and the money, but I
Yeah.
don't have the energy. I either have the energy and the time, but I don't have the money. Now I have all three. But the problem is everything's closed. I can't go anywhere.
There was a fourth option.
Turns out there was a fourth option.
Here's something kind of back to pools. One thing that happens every year, Alberto, my godfather, Alberto, he did the theme song to this
Yeah,
podcast.
he's the godfather of Ally Makeley.
Yeah, his birthday is in June. So every late June or early July, he has a birthday party every year in his backyard. They get like pounds upon pounds of carne asada from Vallarta.
Yeah.
And everybody comes there, and it's like a 12-hour affair, and people
Right.
just kind of come and go. And people like some years like, oh, we haven't seen his cousin hasn't come over in like 3 years. I haven't seen him. And like,
Yeah.
oh, this person who came one year and acted kind of weird, like, well, she hasn't been back. It's just kind of like a revolving cast of characters. That's always something I've looked forward to during the summer. And we'd all just be in his backyard. People would be in the pool, and I'd be there, and they'd all say, why doesn't Daniel go in the
Wait,
pool?
but-
You people
he's-
don't understand my emotional issues.
That I can't show my exposed legs to anybody.
You're going to make me sneeze. Yeah, feet, nothing above the ankle.
Yeah, I know you. I've never seen you in shorts
Nothing-
before. And it's a little disarming.
Everything from the
Alarming,
ankle to
not
my...
disarming.
No, it's disarming when you see this. Everything from the ankle to the belly button is covered. Everything else is exposed. But yeah,
You're like Kylo Ren.
I've been waiting forever for you to say. Ever since I got this gas mask to do grocery shopping in, I've been waiting for someone to call me Kylo Ren.
Family barbecues. Missing a lot of really good ones right now.
I know. It really... today's Memorial Day. My parents are like, just come over. We'll grill. I think I'm going to bring my own mustard.
Yeah.
And they're going to grill something, a hot dog on the grill, and then they'll go away and then all come and grab the hot dog.
Wow.
Like a
pet raccoon. We're going to leave a little bit in a dish for him.
Like a raccoon that they birthed.
Yeah. He's so sweet. Look at his little hands grabbing it. That's a summer thing that
We've been robbed of the summer.
Yeah. New summer. I'm going to watch a Bruce Brown film. I'm going to watch Endless Summer in my house and just dream of what can be.
This is my theory or my proposition. I've had many propositions about this. Here's my proposition: $20. $20. I'll take 5. I think nobody should age this year.
Yeah.
Like, I should still be 31
Yeah.
next June. I think that's how it should work, because this whole year is a wash. Like,
It's a
nobody,
wash.
it doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's a lost year. Birth certificate says you're 51, but
No.
I'm 32. Turns out that coronavirus took 10 years from us.
Corona takes off 10 years. Back to his party. There were some things, like one year, like I said, some people don't show up again. I was thinking, I wonder if I should tell this story. She's never going to hear this, so who cares? But there was one girl who showed up one year, and she worked with Alberto, and she didn't really know anybody else, but her whole thing was she thought she was a cat.
Hold on. What? I put the microphone down so I could... She thought she was a cat.
So she would refer to herself as Kitty Cat, and she would walk, like, she would talk, and she'd be like...
Would she call her hands paws or what?
I don't know, but she would, after she'd say something, she'd be like, oh, yeah, I like having hamburgers, Kitty Cat, meow. That's how she would talk.
Wow.
And I don't know if she'd never had alcohol or something. I don't know. But there's usually a lot of alcohol at these things, which, I mean, to keep it away. I'll be dry away from the pool with a Dr. Pepper.
I'm a pure soul, please.
But she got really drunk and she threw up and...
Started eating it like a cat?
She really lived it. She embodied the character. She then went, without telling anybody, she went and took a shower in the spare bathroom that the shower hadn't been used in like 15 years. And then Alberto, he realized like the next day, like, did someone take a shower in here? And we haven't seen her back. So there's there's weird characters that kind of just come and go.
Obviously, she doesn't think of herself as a cat, or else she'd just like lick her paws to clean herself.
Did somebody lick themselves a lot in this shower?
My house knows. That's really weird.
That is really weird. But some other thing, like every few years, there's like an event at one of these things. One of them was me and Aaron got into a very public debate about who would win in a game of Pokemon now. So that year, it was like months of trash talk leading up to it.
Oh my God.
And I brought my Nintendo that we could plug our Game Boys into, and we would play on the TV, and everyone gathered in the room to watch two probably 28-year-old men play a game of Pokemon against it, and I destroyed him. I embarrassed him in front of everybody, and it was great.
This is your Rocky moment, huh?
No, Rocky lost. I certainly did not lose. This was his Rocky moment, but he had no takeaways from it. And then another year, like, there were years of talk of Anderson had made this like student film in high school, and it was like years of talking about it, and he finally found the VHS, and we all gathered in Alberto's parents' room, because there was the only room in the house that had a VHS, and we watched this high school student film. There's just, I don't know, it's a fun tradition. I have friends that they think they can beat me with a Snorlax against a Mewtwo. I don't think so.
All my friend parties are like, let's see how drunk Greg's gonna get, and they just keep feeding me alcohol.
I think I see the problem.
Yeah.
Here.
No, I don't.
I think that's the problem, is I don't see the problem.
The problem is I can't grasp what the problem is.
Backyard pool party or barbecues and pool parties. That's sad to not have it this year.
Yeah.
But then again, if they're like, hey, let's just try it. No, I'm not going. I'm not going in your backyard, even if there's 4 people.
No, that's the thing, is I want it, but I want it to be safe. So as much as I say that I want it, I'm not going to go.
No, I'm not going.
Like, I'm not going to.
Yeah, if you're going to try to do it this year, I'm not going.
I'm not going to go.
But I wish we could.
Yeah, I'll dream of what could be. Lots of summer festivals.
Okay, here we go.
Like the Festival of Books.
That's spring, though.
It's not cold.
In fact, it's quite hot usually.
Quite hot.
Yeah, that was too bad that especially because Eric, he was supposed to be giving a talk for his book
Uh-huh.
the
Oh, that's right. I
Stealing
remember
Home
that,
book,
yeah.
which you should all buy.
What's the title of it?
Stealing Home by Eric Nussbaum.
What's it about?
I don't know, some sort of baseball people got, I don't know, too much baseball on the hill, something about that. That is too bad. I love going to that festival. Along with that, just in general, street fairs,
Yeah.
which all happen during the summer. That's something I'm really gonna miss.
Yeah.
The ones I like going to, the Sherman Oaks one is like, it's a huge stretch of Ventura Boulevard that's just
Yeah.
blocked off, and it's, people mock me because during those fairs I love getting like free pens. Like I haven't bought a pen in like, I don't think I've ever bought a pen because I get free pens at these things. And also they always have like little hand sanitizer things, and everyone's like, what do you need all that? What do you
Yeah.
need hand? Yeah, look at me now.
Stockpiled.
I have like 12 little bottles of hand sanitizer, and what do you have? You have your pride.
You have your knowledge that I have all the hand sanitizer bottles. Yeah, at Grand Park, I remember last year they had a couple different food festivals that first one I was like, I'm not going to like this. And then by the third one, I was like, okay, how much money can I bring? How much cash do they need?
How much is too much money?
Yeah, how much money is yeah, exactly. That's a lot of fun. That's a fun summer thing. It's just like
It
all
is. They have the Taste of Encino thing also, which is like every restaurant in Encino has like a little booth, and you can go try or buy a little bit of everything. Another one, I think they do it during the summer. They do it twice a year, but the Beverly Hills Art Show, which is hundreds and hundreds of different artists, like that's always fun to see also. But no, none of it.
You tapped on something that I hadn't even written down and I thought about because it's too painful. There's no baseball this year. That's
Yeah,
a real bummer
I
because
know.
going to Dodger Stadium, sitting there in the heat.
Well, you
love
can
it.
still go and sit there in the heat and get tested for coronavirus if you want.
I've done it 2 times already.
Did you get the second results back yet?
No, they're going to come probably next week.
Inconclusive. Again.
Your blood is bad.
We want more blood.
Blood.
You shouldn't have gone to.
Shouldn't have gone tested at Rancho de Dracula. Yeah, no, there's like no baseball. And I was really getting it. I mean, obviously every year, we get our butts kicked and then I go and cry for a hole and then I slowly get back into it. We found out the Astros had cheated last year and stole the World Series from us 2 years ago. So I was revving up this year to just like, Dodgers are going to beat them. We're all going to beat the Astros together. And
Little did they
made
know.
a couple new players on the team. I forgot their names already. Looking forward to all of it though. And
Mike Piazza's back.
he came out of retirement. He's old, but he for the love of the game.
The Astros are still responsible for coronavirus because they don't want to lose their title. The Stanley Cup Finals would happen during the summer in June, which there was no way the Kings would have made it. But still, it's
Still, hockey is being played.
Although they're planning, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're planning on bringing it back.
Baseball's planning to come back with no fans, so it's just like
Yeah.
the teams are playing. But even that is like a lot of stress and work for the players.
How could they? I mean, they're talking about like, well, we'll just rip them from their families and they'll all live in this hotel together and play in the backyard of the hotel.
Yeah, travel. Well, you can travel as a team. That just doesn't make any sense.
They
Like,
won't.
it's not safe.
I thought they would, because I know the NBA is like, we're going to play in Disneyland or something. Like, I don't.
Right,
I don't.
yeah.
You're all going to live in Disneyland.
I don't
understand any of this.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I get we all want to go back to quote normal life, but don't be stupid about it.
I mean, why are we surprised? This is literally all about money.
Yeah.
The reason anything is happening is all about money,
Yeah,
but this
exactly.
is money.
This is money. I mean, like this is money on field.
This is one that's kind of similar to street fairs. The schools around here, there's the church. They do these.
I wish you could see me.
They do.
Shaking my head in silence to you, about to bring up silent auctions.
That's only one aspect of it. There's like 3 schools in this area who at the beginning of summer, they have like a celebration fair for their students that year. But this is a rich area and a lot of celebrities live here.
Yeah.
So they have silent auctions of stuff that's mostly
Entertainment based.
entertainment. Like this is signed by the entire cast of Modern Family. This
Right.
is a poster from Star Wars and it's signed by an Ewok.
Yeah.
But not the good one. Let me tell you a few of the things I've
Okay.
gotten, because there's that one and then there's one. It's a regular LAUSD school, but it's still like a lot of Hollywood parents there.
And you did, not to move the story too far from where we're going, but you did see Sugar Ray perform? Or was it just Mark McGrath?
The one over here, Mark McGrath's kids go there. So for like 4 years in a row, Mark McGrath with Sugar Ray, not every year, but usually with Sugar Ray, would perform a concert every night for the 2 nights. Or no, it was just one night. They would perform.
What about every morning? Would they perform?
Please don't make light of this situation. Every morning he'd be cleaning up because he's a great dad. He's a friend of the school. But yeah, Mark McGrath would play. And I think 1 year, because it would be with Sugar Ray. And then 1 year he was doing some sort of 90s tour. So I think with him was like, this is the guy from POD or like some other bands.
yeah.
And I think Dave Navarro, because one of the auction items that I got, I bid on this and won. And I still don't know why. It was an original cell from a cartoon called Dino Babies, which I don't even know what that is. But it also had this DVD of the movie called The Point, and it was narrated by Ringo Starr.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to watch that, and it was only $15.
Right. That's the one that Harry Nilsson has a big
Yeah,
soundtrack.
I think I was like, oh, it's $15, and then I saw who donated it, Dave Navarro. So this was Dave Navarro's Dino Baby cell and copy of The Point. So I won that, and it's proudly displayed. Another thing I won was apple peeler, and I overbid. I was the only one to bid, and I overbid because I didn't understand how a silent auction works. So I paid like $20 for what should have cost $10, and then we also won quote unquote VIP Conan tickets.
That's right, which were just Conan tickets.
Yeah, Conan tickets that we got to sit on the left.
Yeah, and we were on the screen briefly. Only because the guy's cell phone went off did we get any screen time. It probably would have been great if the band was still there, because that's where the band used to perform on the left-hand side.
But
memories.
Those are too bad the coronavirus took out the late night band, because they also would have like a full carnival rides and things would be going on. I genuinely missed that.
Yeah, to wander around a church carnival
with a bunch of ninth graders, all horny, all trying to date, like all of them just looking for a mate.
Yeah,
it's very uncomfortable. It makes me really uncomfortable, but everything else is great.
Did I ever tell you that I peed next to Dave Navarro when I was a kid?
No.
My friend Mikey's dad worked for a generator company, so we were on set for the filming of a Red Hot Chili Peppers video. I forget which one it was, but there's a thing in the middle. They're all wearing like leather red pants with flames, and there's a big like spiral thing moving in circles. So we were on set for that one. I had to go to the bathroom. Dave Navarro came with no shirt on, leather pants, peed right next to me.
Did he look down and say, "Now that's the point"?
Well, he did, but I didn't know what he was talking about. Years later, I would find out.
I have 3 more things.
Okay, talk about them.
2 of them are kind of related. Movie theaters or a mall on a hot day.
I should have watched Black Widow a couple times already.
There were 3 movies we wanted to see right before this started, and I was like, this one's going to go out of theater. We should see this. But Melissa wisely said we should see Onward because movie theaters are going to close down, and we're not going to be able to see anything. And she was right, and we watched Onward.
Onward is now on Disney Plus, which you have my password to.
I do.
And you could have watched Onward.
You mean I could have seen that reimagining of Peter Pan that nobody liked? It's going to suck when we all have to stay inside during the heat of summer. That's going to be awful. It's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
But
August and September is when it gets really hot. Maybe this will be a thing of the past.
That might be when it's getting worse. Let's focus on the better times. It was just such a nice, even from your car to the movie theater, that walk of like, oh my God, it's so hot. And then you get inside. It's so good. And malls, the same thing. I missed wandering around malls with my metal detector.
Trying to find Rolexes in a Rolex store.
Did you know you had these here?
Yeah, exploiting everyone else's air conditioning really is like a peak summer thing. You know, as a kid, Eagle Rock Plaza was my mall, but Glendale Galleria was like, oh, we're going to fancy hoity town. I miss them being so dependent on the mall to keep me cool. Movie theaters, I still like. It's blistering hot. Let's just go see Bad Boys 4. Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares? I care.
Drive-in can only protect you so much, but a multiplex, they'll take care of you. What was your boyhood movie theater?
You know, speaking of that Braveheart thing, the Braveheart incident, you know, that movie about McDonald's, that was a drive-in theater. You know where the Winnetka Theater is? That was a drive-in theater, and that's where I saw Braveheart. But
is that why the parking lot's so deep?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's exactly why. The whole building was the screen.
Oh, got it.
That was my childhood movie theater, the Winnetka one, and also the one in Granada Hills. It was like a Regency or something. It's still there. It's next to the Seas Candy, but it's like a crummy old theater.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
But like the Winnetka one was like, oh, we're gonna see a film here.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a legitimate film from a production company.
Yeah, Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2. Mine was Eagle Rock Plaza had a movie theater that we went to all the time because it was pretty close. But also like Burbank had a movie theater that was. They now have like 3 theaters in that block
within arm's reach.
Exactly, but there was one that was closer to the freeway to where all like the mechanic shops are at now. Before that big plaza was built, and that was like
mechanics gentrifying Burbank,
taking away all the theaters. Now we only have 3. Another one that's taken away was the Palace in Alhambra, which is a big, ornate, beautiful movie theater on Main Street. God, I missed that place. The carpets were red and all like there's like gold.
Violets are blue. The violets were blue.
Yeah, that was
movies. I miss you. Tied in with this is the movies at the American Cinematheque,
right?
Or the Egyptian Theater and the
Arrow.
Because during the summer they would have a lot of good programs like 4th of July Jaws marathons. Not that that's a good program, but like they would have a lot of.
I think it's a good program.
A lot of good things every summer. I think they would do like all 3, and I emphasis on 3 Indiana Jones movies.
Only 3.
All 3 back. I know you're going to say something here. All 3 Back to the Futures and stuff like that. Don't say it. Don't even, Greg. I'm going to sneeze.
Do you want to come? Our family's going to do a Back to the Future trivia. Do you want to come?
Your family knows Back to the Future?
Yeah. We did a Goonies one. That was a lot of fun. I won that one.
Is it a Zoom thing?
Yeah.
If you want me to embarrass your whole family in front of the rest of them, sure, I'll be there. But
yeah, maybe you won't come.
Okay, so here's my last thing that I have, and it's can't get more American than this.
Oh, jeez. Saluting the American flag in front of the
Voting
troops.
Republican in June. Fireworks on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Last night we heard a ton of fireworks for Memorial Day, but going somewhere like
Yeah, going to a party.
a party where they're lighting them, or like the Hollywood Bowl. I was going to be at the Beach Boys thing.
Yeah.
Minus the dead weight.
Okay. But it's the crazy person in the band.
Like again at Warner Center, and there were just all these places around town
Yeah.
that the church in Porter Ranch would have a huge show. Like it would be like miles and miles of people just sitting on the street and stuff. One of my favorite things to do is go to Overlook, looking over the whole valley, like where they filmed E.T. and
Yeah.
you can see the whole valley, and you just see fireworks going up
I love
everywhere from
that,
people's
yeah.
backyards and stuff like that.
I would like to do that when we would leave. My cousin lives in Michael lives in Downey, and we would be driving on the 710, and the 710 is like a little bit above all the neighborhoods to the right and the left. So fireworks would just be like you were driving to a parade of
Yeah.
fireworks just all the way down the 710.
Even along the 405 when you're going through the Van Nuys sort of
Right,
area,
yeah.
it's just like
shooting up everywhere. Yeah, I love that.
it's like
Yeah.
you're driving into the Bellagio.
4th of July is going to be very different. They're trying to say that we're going to open on 4th of July, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
really doubt. I
I
just
mean-
can't see it.
Do it, fine. If you're the kind of person that thinks that's safe, go do it. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
I'm not going to be doing anything till at least the second wave.
At least the peak of the second wave. Then I'll start
Then
going
I'll
into
start
restaurants
coming
again.
out of the hole I've been living in.
Again, we've had this summer robbed. Melissa's graduation, her sister's graduation, and all this stuff during our vacations.
Yeah.
More importantly than their graduations, our vacations have been
we were
robbed
taking.
from us.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
know.
other people have had it obviously way worse.
Oh,
but
of course,
like,
yeah. We're our complaints are minor compared to the major complaints
Yeah.
other people have, or not even complaints, just tragedies.
Yeah.
straight up tragedies.
we've had it robbed by corrupt people.
I will throw
Bill
fits
Gates.
in the Bill Gates at it again. 5G, Verizon 5G. I've thrown fits where I'm like, I could just go. Like, I just want to drive to like Grand Canyon. I could do it. Nothing stopping me. I have the money, and work barely checks in on me.
How
But
are you
then
going to go to the bathroom?
Exactly. How
How
am
are
I
you
going to
gonna
get? Getting gas is going to be like, did I touch something I wasn't paying attention to?
Yeah.
How are you going to do food? I have to pack all. Like, that's maybe what I'm missing the most right now is that my summers feel a little bit spontaneous, and all that spontaneity has been robbed because, like,
Yeah.
like, even today, I'm like, oh, I didn't bring a mask with me, and I luckily had the best mask I can ask for was a paint mask. Having to think so much and get worried.
And constantly be on alert when you are out is
Yeah.
just so, like, even just going on a walk when people are still out, it's almost not worth it.
Yeah.
It's so stressful.
Just thinking, like, am I the one that's worrying too much about it? Is everyone else relaxed because there's nothing to worry about? Then, like,
No,
but I
that's,
don't. I
that's
hate to
what
find
they
it the
want
wrong
you
way.
to think.
Yeah,
that's what stupid people want
Yeah.
you to think is
and
that
that's how you
you
get caught is relaxing a little bit,
Yeah.
and then suddenly like dad's coughing. I'm like, oh, I did that.
oops.
Oops. Let's get Tommy's. You want to get Tommy's with me right now?
Like really, just share a Tommy burger.
Share just deep. Let's share some chili cheese fries. I just want a shareable meal with you right now.
Well, you know what you can share with us.
Oh my god. Go ahead.
Yeah, what? We're going to say buffets? That's another thing?
We're
it is?
working on a special project right now, so we'd really like it if any big fans of ours want to let us
Oh.
know, hey, what are a couple of your favorite segments we've done in the last 78, 79 episodes that
Yeah.
we've put out?
Segments, because we also will do a double plug here. We have on our YouTube channel now all of the segments from our episodes,
Yeah.
our individual videos on YouTube. So you can, if you don't remember your favorite one, which I
Yeah.
can't imagine you didn't get the tattoo already,
Yep.
go back and pick it out and let us know, because we're planning something
Yeah.
fun.
So I'd really like to know what some of the best segments that we've done out there, or even best intros. We never hear anything about that.
Other than that,
I gotta go.
You could leave us a review on iTunes.
That'd be very nice of you.
Or
to leave
Apple
us.
Podcasts, I guess they call it. Open it up. If you have an iPhone, leave 5 stars, some words if you want. It helps us get noticed and more
Visible.
visible. If you're looking for human contact, this is the best way. This is
Yep.
all you've got right
So,
now.
yeah, I will not hug you. I might shake your hand.
But I will take a screenshot of your review and send it to Greg.
At 2 a.m. Look.
See, they do.
You
like
want to
our
quit now?
intros.
Look.
But also on Twitter at Atlee Meekly.
Daniel's on Twitter as well.
Oh,
DM Zaffron.
Yeah, and so are you.
I don't remember what my
Neither do
handle
I.
is.
Grego Gonzo. I
Grego
don't think there's
Gonzo or
a-
Grego _ Gonzo, one of the
yeah,
two.
one of the two. But yeah, we're also there if you want to follow that.
Yeah. Be careful. You might end up following Greg Gonzalez from Cigarettes After Sex, which a lot of people have confused the two of us for some reason. Follow the one
Follow-
that doesn't have 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
It's me.
If you're wondering.
Yeah, if you're wondering which one of the two I am,
You got confused. If you got lost on Twitter Street.
we're on Instagram, LA_Meekly.
Post pictures and such every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a listener question,
Please.
send us an email at la.meekly@gmail.com
Or any other way you communicate with us.
and also on Patreon if you want your name said, or for as little as $5 a month, we will give you a handwritten postcard. We now have international postage as well, so if you're international, you can also have that.
We love all of our postcard pals.
Yeah, we have several now. So now, like, the whole end of the month is, I feel like I'm in prison and I'm
Yeah.
just writing like postcard after
Postcard.
postcard to people.
Let me know if you get this.
You can help support us financially. We don't make any money doing this, so it keeps us going.
Yeah.
Especially in these trying times.
Unprecedented, challenging.
Like we've never seen before.
God, I love
all the other
commercials.
phrases.
McDonald's just acting like their
Heroes.
workers are in the trenches during these difficult times.
They're
Only
workers
one
that they
thing-
won't give health insurance to.
The only normalcy is ordering a 6-piece chicken McNuggets.
The only way that we can make America whole again is through McFlurries. One McFlurry at a time. Any last thoughts before we dive deep into our summer?
You know, we did a really good job of not really talking about coronavirus for the last, 2 or 3 episodes we've done this?
Yeah. I mean, it keeps bubbling up because it's
yeah.
impossible for me to not steer any conversation into
Yeah.
coronavirus. But
we caved, and we talked all about it this episode, so you're welcome.
I'm sorry that if we made things unbearably sad for you, reminding you of what you can't do this summer.
I'm pretty sure people have enough time to sit and think about all the things they can't be doing right now.
Well, let's say it out loud.
Let's manifest it.
It's the first step towards recovery is us saying it out loud.
If you can get any fast food right now, what would it be?
You know I'm not a huge fast food person, but I will say In-N-Out.
I would like some Tommy's today. Today I would like to eat some
I would
Tommy's.
give you Tommy's today for In-N-Out tomorrow.
I'm not
In-N-Out.
going to order Tommy's. I bet it wouldn't be a catastrophe.
I'm sure there's a way to do it, but like I saw the huge line of In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Fast food during the summer is fun, but
Yeah.
I saw the huge line. They're still coming up to your window to take your order. These like In-N-Out, and figure out an app. Like figure out some better way to do this.
Yeah, there are ways.
Easy ways.
Yeah, easy ways to do all this. Philippe's has a pretty good system. Although I've ordered twice from them, I'll show up like, oh, someone else took your order. Maybe work on that.
Always what I'm terrified at the grocery pickup.
Yeah.
Because like I don't get out of the car and those are my Coke Zeros.
Someone took all my tampons.
Edible tampons.
My edible tampons I keep buying.
Look, enjoy the summer any way that you can. Again, stay safe, stay away from people. If you listen to anyone, listen to us.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about other stuff I've been listening to, but I can't listen to anyone else talk right now because I'm so depressed.
Except me. You love listening to my voice, don't you?
God. The fact that I get so many, like, whenever I go on YouTube, it's like, do you want to listen to this Ally Meekley segment or this Ally Meekley? None.
Change your algorithm then. If you listen to any song from the 80s or the 90s, you're going to be referenced towards L.A. Meekley also. You must like L.A. Meekley intros. You listened to Huey Lewis once. Look, there's a helicopter coming. That's our signal. We've got to go enjoy summer. I'm scared of being close to you. Even this far apart, I want to get away from you right now.
I think that you should probably get closer to me. Every time we record, you should get a foot closer to me.
Just let me give you a massage in the back of my truck. Stay safe. Enjoy your summer.
We miss you.
We do miss you.
We
I
miss
mean,
you
it's
guys.
not like we've ever known you, but
No, but we were supposed to be doing a show in the end of April. We could have met everybody, but
yeah. Who knows what live signings we could have been at by now.
I like to think that Daniel caused all of this because he had 2 live performances coming up and he was freaking out about them, and all of a sudden they were both canceled.
Suddenly he comes back from Asia and now everybody's sick in America. Yeah. Look, I didn't do this. As the Bartman said, I didn't do it. Now let's all do the Bartman and go home.
Okay.
That's been yet another episode of L.A. Meekley, watching X-Files with no lights on since 2013. I'm really surprised they don't perform with Mark McGrath, the Bare Naked Sugar Ladies. Well,
Bye.